let's just start taking a look at who's eligible, first of all, for Social Security benefits. You have to put in the system. It's 40 quarters, 10 years of employment. Or you have to be married for someone for 40 quarters. So then you look at, all right, well, if I have an ex-spouse, am I eligible to claim on an ex-spouse if I haven't remarried? But how about if I'm a survivor? Maybe my spouse passed. As long as I was married to that spouse for at least 9 months, then I'm eligible for the survivor benefit. But which one do you take? Do you take your own benefit? Do you take the survivor benefit? Can you switch back and forth? You want to maximize as much money as you possibly can from the system because we put into the system for so long.
Right, right. And Joe, as you just mentioned, so many people rely on a lot of their income. And I think it was over 20% of married couples rely on, this is 90% or more of their income and over 40% of single people. So you got to get this right. There's a lot to know. And then, of course, it's like, well, how do you even compute Social Security? So what the Social Security Administration does is they look at the highest 35 years. Those are averaged together. And then there's a formula to determine what they call the primary insurance amount, or PIA for short. Now, if you work 30 years, then you're going to take those 30 years and the last 5 years are going to be at zero. So at any rate then, but if you work 40 years, right, and a lot of people work part-time in the last few years, right. Don't worry about it. It's the highest 35 years are going to come into this private insurance
amount. Here's what's very,
amount.
very important about that, because it's indexed with inflation. So let's say 35 years ago, you were making $20,000 a year. They index with inflation for today's dollars. So they'll look at the highest 35 years. Just as Al said, if you worked 40 years, they're going to take the best 35 years of employment. So